Hello, beautiful souls. Today we're going to do a reading about what might happen the next 6 months. Something I'm noticing lately is that with the recent eclipses and retrograde season beginning, that collectively a lot of us are going through many changes, and over the next 6 months, our lives might look very different in a short period of time. So these readings are going to be for the collective, but hopefully in general, the one that you pick will have some messages for you. Okay, so we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And the picture on the top is not part of the reading. So I won't be including this in the reading. It will just be a symbol of whichever one you're gravitating to the most. The cards below it are going to be a part of your reading. Okay, so let's get rid of these other piles so we can get started with pile 1. Okay, so if you picked the Earth Guardian, so we have the Eagle, see from a higher perspective. We have the Druid, hold the space. She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. Janine the Maid, guardian of the saints. The Matriarch, the mother of homestead. We have some astrological cards here as well. We have Venus, the attraction of pleasure from and good times. We have Mercury, communicate, analyze, let your mind tell you how. Planet Mercury. And then we have Libra, I balance. Okay. Let's see what messages we get from these cards right here. So right off the bat, with this wolf symbolism and the eagle symbolism right here, right in between holding the space, right under Libra balance here, I'm seeing that over the next 6 months, or you have already achieved this, so you will see it more so the next 6 months, is you're really learning how to pull down spirit and source energies into something that is some sort of grounded and practical service for yourself or for others. And Spirit is wanting you to figure out, Spirit's wanting you to figure out a way to maintain this connection. That you might have gone through periods of time where you were very grounded, or you were a little up in the air. And I have a feeling, because although I said this wasn't supposed to be part of the reading, Earth Guardians stay rooted and grounded, I have a feeling that because of these other cards that are right here, that it's probably being grounded that is probably giving you the most struggles. You might actually have a much stronger connection to Spirit in comparison to how well you can ground that energy back onto Earth. Whereas some people, opposite, are people that are really good at material things, really good at making money, or really good at having, stability, but they're sort of starved of spirituality or emotional wellness. That's not you. You're the other way around. You probably have a very rich inner life, a very rich imagination, very strong instincts. You have the ability to probably see very far out into the future, maybe some clairvoyance, claircognizance. And you're probably also really good at helping people. Like, it might be a superpower, considering we have Janine and the matriarch here, along with the druids. So we have Janine. I love her archetypal story because she's somebody that has gotten to the point where she recognizes that it's much more rewarding or helpful sometimes to help people in small groups or one at a time. Janine, she's sort of the embodiment of a Jesus figure where, Jesus, he roamed the earth meeting people face to face rather than, trying to reach everybody in one large event of some kind. But in the end, he ended up reaching everybody because he, one step by step, he would meet people and help people one by one. Kind of the difference between somebody being a therapist and meets people one by one, helps them individually, but that help ends up over time exponentially helping many people through the people they directly help. Here, the matriarch, what I'm seeing is that you might have gone through some sort of I want to say rejection of your gifts, or you or yourself not honoring your gifts as they should be honored, and should be honored. I don't know about that term. Yes, we should always honor our gifts, but how they should be honored is very relative. What's most important is we honor it, regardless of how other people see it. How other people see it is not the point. The point is that you honor your gifts because there's somebody out there that needs it, or many people out there that need it. And if you're confused about what it is, the advice here is between these two cards, right smack dab in between Libra, which is I balance. It wants you to balance the heart and your mind. You probably have very strong intellectual capabilities as well as a very big heart. And maybe at times, and I'm sorry, oh my goodness, so many messages. I'm also seeing that balance between these two cards here as well. Yeah. See these two cards and these two cards. So we have these two cards of a person that's very grounded, follows their instincts, and then we have this other person or other animal here that sees from a much higher perspective and is not grounded, but is also very far-seeing. So it's kind of it's sort of the comparison between intuition and instincts. Intuition, those are people that can tap into the field of energy, and they can see how every pull of the string leads to 5, 10 following cause and effect circumstances just from pulling one string. And so when you see from a higher perspective, it's those people that look like they're magicians, like they can see very, very far into the future, but really it's those strings. They can see the strings that we're always pulling and where it might lead, and how every following string can lead us into a different situation. But the pitfall about people that lean too far into their intuition is when the situation calls for you to be present in the moment, and in the moment you can see that any situation you take probably has 20 different, if not more, things that could happen, that sometimes the best thing to do is just follow your instincts. And it's not about what could happen, it's about what's best for you. And I think even in my own journey, I've recognized that I've kind of been in a polarity between these two, and how important it is to recognize when each one is right for that particular circumstance, because they're both correct, and it's always better to be able to use both. But sometimes, if I'm future planning, I lean on this. If I'm in the moment, I lean on this. But sometimes even having that as a philosophy, oh, you do this when this happens, or this when this happens, that has its own pitfalls in and of itself. And then, so I think that this druid card here is saying to not do that. It's saying hold the space for the moment. Do what is best for that moment. That every situation is going to require a different response. And so with these two cards, I feel like this is saying balance your heart and balance what your mind is trying to tell you. Because your messages are coming through your mind. The source messages are coming through your mind, through your thoughts. But when it comes to what gives you life, you know, you still have to follow your zest. You know, what brings you a zest for life, what gives you life force. Those are the things that we need to follow, regardless if it makes sense or not sometimes. And I think that with this matriarch card here, it's saying that there are people that need what you have to offer, and some people are going to reject it, but other people are going to find a home with you. Okay, well, that was really interesting. Okay, let's see if we can pull some tarot cards to clarify some of this stuff. I'm trying to make room. There we go. Okay. See if we can get a timeline of sorts. This is my new deck. They're holographic cards, so kind of interesting how they come out. So you have the Lovers, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. This very simply says that you have many opportunities right now. It could be in love, because it says the Lovers, or it could be some sort of new venture of some kind. But this card in the middle, it definitely points to you have many choices in front of you, and you might be getting lost in indecision or getting lost in fantasy. So let's see if we can find some clarifiers for this. Oh. Feeling powerless, feeling stuck. Isolation. Maybe you feel isolated right now. Queen of Wands. But you're discovering your zest for life in this process. Maybe you're weighing all of your choices, all your opportunities. Hard work. Feeling oppressed. Exhaustion, too many responsibilities. Maybe you are a parent and you're feeling overwhelmed right now, or maybe in your workplace things are keeping you so busy that you're not really able to focus on what you feel inspired with, what makes you feel happy. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune, though. Luck is changing for you. Yeah, right over here next to this Page of Pentacles. Maybe you have a new job opportunity, a new learning opportunity, and we have the King of Wands. Let's see. I've always thought that it is so powerful when the King and Queen come through in a suit, because it sort of shows a mastery of the feminine and the masculine in that suit. And since this is the fire suit, we have an inner confidence, an inner focus, an inner zest for life, and then we have the ability and or resources to manifest that into the material world. So the King is all about creating the structures to be career focused and have that passion in the external world. Let me get one more card. Oh, that's beautiful. There's a new journey here for you. Okay, so I'm sort of seeing this is happening here with your three different piles. I did not intend for this to happen, it just kind of happens. Okay, so yes, you have many opportunities right now. You might also have multiple opportunities for love right now, also multiple opportunities for business ventures. And I think maybe all of this balance that keeps being repeated throughout all of your reading is you discovering how you can do both things. And I think that here, what's happening internally is where the big shift is happening. This is, I think, where you've been doing presently your most work, because it's where you feel stuck, and it's where the Ten of Wands is coming out, where you are working very hard. It may be here because it's falling under the mind and the matriarch, that it might have something to do with the home or your thoughts. Maybe about dealing with past rejection and figuring out a way through it. The fact that these three cards came out just so beautifully. I mean, we went from full all the way to the Wheel of Fortune, right smack dab here with the material King of Wands, the materialized King of Wands, where your career is materialized into the earthly realm. I think that whatever this is in perfect alignment already. Maybe you've already been working very hard on this, or once you work on what's happening internally with you, what's happening externally with you, it's just going to happen like this. And the fact that this is showing up unintentionally already in the reading, on the side where I started it out, I do have a feeling that this is going to probably happen for you within the 6 months, if not the first 3 months of it. And that I feel like Spirit might be saying that this is what you are to be working on right now, or it's what the eclipses and the retrograde season is sort of helping you through. See if we can find some additional insights. Okay, the clarifier for this Queen of Wands, Page of Wands, another Wands. Okay, so this is, I think, sort of tying back to your Seven of Cups. This is you feeling excited about life again. And I think that's probably where you're struggling, is you're feeling that maybe your situation, you feel powerless in your situation, or perhaps you feel like it would be too much work to do it right now. Maybe you're saying, oh, I can just do it when X, Y, Z is lined up. And, oh, this is funny. Okay. as I was talking, Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands came through. So now we officially have every royal from the Wands happening right now. Let's see right there. And on top of that, Eight of Wands, which is very quick movement. So whatever is happening here, right here, is going to be a very quick process for you. You're moving out of it. This is confirmation that you're moving out of it, and that's beautiful. You are entering into a phase where you are going to feel abundant, and you're going to feel like you can celebrate life with people again. If you haven't, maybe you've been isolated due to COVID. Okay, so let's see if we can get some confirmation right there. A little different deck. Just in case some of the same cards would come out. Okay, let's get a clarifier for the Lovers. Okay, 3 came out, so I'm gonna assume that's for all 3 cards. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles has come out again. Yep, right there. Page of Pentacles came out again. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles, and we have the Magician here. Okay, so this is telling me that we're just doubling up here, that you definitely, this is confirmation that this is probably more so having to do with your career than a love life for most of you. That you do have a career opportunity, a learning opportunity, something is being presented to you. And as you are assessing these opportunities, you're trying to figure out which one is going to give you the financial and material comforts that you're looking for. And I don't think that it's saying to prioritize that. I think it's saying to balance it. That it's okay. It's okay to make sure that the profession you choose has material compensation. And here with the Lovers, I think what this is saying, same thing about the balancing action, inaction, balancing the mind with the heart, balancing intuition with instinct. This is you creating this inner alchemy so that you can take the action that you need to manifest. This is a confirmation that you have all the resources that you need. Okay, and then I'm so looking forward to seeing what this little area is saying right here, because those are some beautiful cards. Okay. Some confirmation, clarification, the Fool, Chariot. Okay, your new beginning's happening quick. Oh. Put that up here for a minute so I can see where that's supposed to go. Alright, yeah. 6 of Wands right here. This is telling me that you are experiencing inner hostility with yourself, battling your own mind games, or you are experiencing that with other people in your life. And this card right here, the 6 of Wands, is saying success, you have beaten whatever that, enemy was, whether it's your own mind or some sort of external enemy. Success, you are going to be able to manifest your career. Okay, and then what is this that you are so fortunate to experience with this wheel of fortune? Oh, okay. So maybe you have been patiently waiting for something, or you've been holding back for a while your gifts, or you've been feeling poor, experiencing poverty, needing to be very thrifty. Or also you could be in a position where you're just holding on to your skills, and right here, this is you deciding to follow your heart. I think this is probably the biggest message in your reading, which is saying that, you are now getting to the point where you're not holding back, you're going to follow your heart now. And maybe an opportunity might be presented to you as well. Okay, so this is going to be the end of your reading. This was a really good reading, whoever picked this pile. If it doesn't resonate with you, maybe look at a different pile. This concludes your reading, Pile 1. Please click this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life, and remember to trust in yourself. If you would like a personal reading, or if you would just like to donate or support my channel, you can look in the description box below for a way to donate or to order a personal reading. I have 3 different ways where you can do it through either Etsy, FIVERR, or you can directly contact me through my Gmail. Sorry about that. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, and the links are below for that. Okay, so let's get started with Pile 2. Okay. Oops. Alright. Here we go, Pile 2. So, for those that were called to the Fire Guardian, this card is just a symbol to see which ones you vibe with underneath. This card isn't going to be part of your reading. It could be part of your reading, but I didn't intend for it to be. Okay, so we have the Stag, Trust and Thrive, the Seer, See beyond the current situation. Oh, I remember this pile as I was picking it. This one has a very specific message. So I imagine this one is probably not going to fit quite as many people as the other ones might. So as we're moving forward in this reading, if you don't think it applies to you, maybe see if another one does. Okay. Oracle, wait for important information. Abaddon, pestilence, corruption, and malice. Arthur, championship, nobility, self-realization. And Set, short-sightedness, ambition, and narcissism. Okay, we also have Jupiter and Saturn. The granting of blessings from, good fortune, and then we have the maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed to Saturn. And then we have Capricorn, I use. Capricorn is also, or Saturn is also the ruler of Capricorn. I don't like to say that any one animal is associated with some of the darker energies in the world. I'm sorry, I need to get a sip of water from it. Okay. In a lot of stories, it kind of reminds me of that show, the new show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, that is shown on Netflix, how the devil persona has a goat head, which is related to Capricorn, which is also the ruler of the 10th house, which has a relationship to Saturn, which has a very strong relationship to limits being imposed upon you, but also karma. And I think that part of the symbolism of hell as a symbol is to express when people receive their bad karma. You experience a lifetime of, your biggest fears, in the hell atmosphere. It's a little bit scary. We also have here the stag, who kind of has, it's not like a goat, but there is some similarities there with, the antlers and the horns and whatnot. So I don't believe that this is trying to say that you are Abaddon and Set. I feel like this is trying to tell you have been surrounded. I think that you are actually more probably Arthur here. I think you have been surrounded by a lot of pestilence, corruption, malice, short-sightedness, ambition, narcissism. The very negative expression of this card is a negative expression of Capricorn and a negative expression of Saturn here. And I think that what you have been experiencing and what I think the eclipse is really stirring up for you is, I think it's expressing to you everything that you have going on in your situation has probably created some kind of tower moment in your life, and you might really see it. Like, you might very much see it. However, I think Spirit is trying to offer you a suggestion and possibly even a warning to wait for more important information before you take action on anything, to see beyond the current situation, because it wants you to trust and thrive. It wants you to trust that something is on the way to help you that will bring you to that thriving space that Spirit wants to offer you blessings for. Because when I think about Saturn and Jupiter, when they're in relationship to one another, I feel like Saturn being the lord of karma, Jupiter is where we receive good karma. It's where we receive our good karma for all of the times that we were presented with our bad karma from maybe past lives or our early life, and we have successfully walked through that path to work through our karma, or when other people are in our lives and they bring their bad karma into our lives. And this is also saying, like, congratulations for not falling with them, or for not lowering your standards, or not behaving in a way that you wouldn't normally behave just to survive. And although that's not saying that it's a bad thing to at least make choices where you are surviving, we obviously, I don't have any. Nobody can say that there is a good or bad thing in that. I mean, we all have the right to survive in our situations. But I think Spirit is recognizing that there are many times where you could have lowered yourself to survive and you still took the high road. And I think that what I'm noticing more in this Capricorn is that number 22 right here. And I think it's sort of saying that you've built in this process a foundation to bring in, your round table. It's to bring in people that that you deserve and they deserve you. Other people that are going to watch your back instead of, not. See, that's what I find so interesting about these cards, why they came out this way. Because what do you notice about these two cards is they're both facing away from Arthur, because they don't really have Arthur's back, right? They just bring their short-sighted ambitions, and they bring, malice for no reason. This card is somebody that just does bad because they just like it. They enjoy it. Where this person, they do it out of narcissism. They don't really mean to hurt anybody. They just don't care. And so I feel like this is probably what you've been battling at least the last 6 months to a year, probably a lot longer than that, considering the tone of some of these cards that kind of imply that you're in a very big shift right now. Okay. I think that's kind of the gist of these messages here. I'd like to pull some tarot cards to see if we can find some other messages. Kind of, yeah. I have this feeling like Jupiter is supposed to go here with all of your, the stag reminding you to trust and thrive, and I think Saturn is supposed to go over here by all these cards. Okay. Wow, I'm going to take a sip of water because that's a really heavy energy that you have been dealing with. I'm so sorry. Gosh, I hope you're okay. I had that, feeling, that feeling when you're just really overwhelmed with an energy and you don't have it in you to have a response, and you just have to sit there and just really breathe and collect yourself. I just really had a sense of that right then, and I just had this feeling like you might be one of those people that has to do that all the time. Oh, these are beautiful cards. Okay, hold on. Yes, okay, amazing. Okay. This is my new holographic deck. It looks so pretty next to the lights. Okay, this is wonderful. I feel that what I love seeing when an ace meets a court card, especially like a king or a queen, especially if it's in the very same suit, is it's kind of telling me you've been working in this suit and you are almost right at the end of it, right next to the king. So the King of Pentacles, that is security to the point where you are very, very well off. Where the Queen of Pentacles, I imagine she's more of the person that is healthy in body, healthy in nurturance, healthy in mindset, healthy. She's grounded and she's calm. She creates the foundation for a king. And it's you here, Ace, is the very beginning of this journey where you have experienced clarity. Just a very quick amount of clarity. So maybe this eclipse season has just really catapulted you forward. I don't know if I catapult you forward tremendously. And I think that, Spirit is recognizing that I have this feeling that Spirit is just saying it was very easy for you to not do this. But however, because you are, what I sense is somebody who has a very high moral stature, especially among dealing with energies like this, that you turned this situation, oh God, I cannot call it an opportunity, that just does not resonate with me at all. It's kind of implying some sort of neutrality when dealing with characters like this, but no, you turned this situation into an opportunity. This situation itself wasn't an opportunity. It's totally different way to categorize turning lemons into lemonade. No, this is this is somebody being able to turn. I can't even come up with anything. The only thing that's coming up is like being able to turn blood into an entire breathing human living body, which is like, what women do all the time, but we know it takes so much from us to do so. So we had, while I was talking about this, the Chariot came out. The Chariot is a much higher vibration of the Eight of Wands. So this is like another confirmation here. Another confirmation here that movement and progress is happening for you. So is integration, and it's happening very quickly. So hold on to your horses. Normally the Chariot has like 2 horses on it. And we're always... Actually, I don't think I've ever said it in a reading, but for some reason, I want to say to you, hold on to your horses, because you've got 2 of these quick-moving cards here. But yet, that's interesting that I didn't recognize that till before. This card says, see beyond the current situation, but wait for important information, and these things are touching. And I feel like it's also saying that although you could move really quickly right now, that to do it right now, I think would offer you too much anxiety, because there's still a message. There's still a message that wants to come through to you, whether it's externally. Yeah. Okay, so whether it's externally or through another person, the High Priestess is a very strong card of inaction, of going within and connecting to the mystical side of you, the intuitive side of you. Just like this Seer card right here, I think that because it's falling here under Jupiter and Trust and Thrive, it's reminding you to trust. Don't take an action right now, because by not taking an action, the irony is it's going to catapult you forward, and you're going to experience, this swift Ace to Queen status. Okay. Oh my gosh, so many cards. Alright, we have the Ace of Wands, the Tower, and the Magician. Another Ace, so you have the Ace of Wands and you have an Ace of Pentacles. That's amazing. So that's, confirmation that your inspired ideas, your creative spark, that new beginning for you is going to result in some sort of financial reward, some sort of clarity in your life. But it's coming after a Tower moment, and if you've already experienced that Tower moment, I think that Spirit's wanting to let you know that this Tower moment is going to give you what you need. So this is what I think is really, really interesting, is that these 2 cards are in the beginning and at the end, but in the major arcana, they are right next to each other. The High Priestess points to inaction, the Magician points to action. This is the point where we're kind of pausing, just as the Seer and the Oracle say together, is to pause, see beyond your current situation, see what it is, go within, because you have some messages in there for you, some intuitive messages. And then as this process works, this is going to bring you to your Magician moment, where you have everything that you need to move forward. And at the sake of repeating myself, this is one of those processes where it's going to be probably hard to not push forward, because I see you have that feeling like you are supposed to. A lot of the Chariot, 8 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, those are very energetic cards that want to promote working forward. But there's a Tower moment happening, and I suspect that that's going to bring that information that you need to push forward. Okay, I'm going to get some clarification here. Okay. So, Page of Wands right over the High Priestess. I think that's saying that Spirit wants you to go within, and it wants you to really assess what it is that really brings you to that space where you feel so inspired and excited about life. Yeah, and that's what's bringing you that anxiety, because I think it's like you might have made some sort of compromises along the way that have they're not really bringing you the emotional fulfillment or the joy that you had expected, and maybe you're doubling back a little bit. And I think Spirit is just kind of wanting to say, well, let's pause for a while before taking action, because let's just start from the beginning. The Ace of Cups is like the very first card of the entire deck. This is like a signal. Start from the beginning. Okay, yes, the Hanged Man right over the Chariot. Spirit really wants you to pause. Really wants you to pause and surrender to whatever new perspectives come towards you, because it's going to be very enlightening. It's going to be very enlightening. This little matrix right here, I feel like this is really in the past tense area of your reading. I feel like this is letting you know that the reason why Spirit wants you to not take action is because we want you to start from the beginning, and we want you to remember. We want you to remember what really brings you that joy. Because as you've been messing with all of these characters over here, you might have lost sight of that. And also with this Saturn card coming in right here, I feel like this is, kind of saying that you might have some self-imposed limits. Probably, very likely they were passed down from other people, but you might have been in this situation for so long that your limits might be self-imposed at this time. And so Spirit really wants you to pause and just really, one by one, pull all of those limits away, whatever they are. Page of Swords, right over the Eight of Wands. This is a little message right here saying that to take action right now, it would be an act without thinking. And so I think it's just kind of a little confirmation there to, again, pause. Knight of Pentacles, yes, this is the very slowest Knight. So now we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Knight and the Queen right here. And I think that this is letting you know that the way that you make it to this Queen placement is by very cautious, sensible, slow, calculated progress. Oh, my gosh. The Emperor right on top of the Queen of Pentacles. The Emperor can mean so many things, but when I see it in this little matrix right here, I feel like this is saying that you are on the way of building a very stable structure. You are on the way of building something that's going to last for you. Okay. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Right here, right over the Ace of Wands. And it's also right over Arthur. What is bringing, you might be are you a writer, or maybe something about you communicating your inspirations to other people is what is going to bring you your other knights at the round table. But it also might be saying, if right here, this Queen, right between Abaddon and Set right here, I feel like it might, on top of Arthur, I feel like it might be saying that the way they want you to approach these two characters through the Arthur energy might to simply cut through the BS. The Queen of Swords, she gets a bad rap for being cold, but if I were to put any queen in front of characters like this, I would bring the Queen of Swords, because she really gets to the heart of the matter of things, and she has a way of being unbiased, reasonable and very intelligent with the way that she communicates. She doesn't. I don't imagine that she would be somebody that could be played with very much. And so I think that when you're dealing with these energies, I think Spirit is just wanting to let you know to maybe protect your heart. Maybe protect your heart and deal with irrational people in a rational way. You know, so if we are dealing with people who are irrational, it is irrational to expect them to be rational. But it is rational to expect irrational behavior from irrational people. That came out really funny. I hope that made sense. But I think that, you know, we should have reasonable expectations of people like this, rather than, you know, just because we have ourselves, we are capable of being, of carrying out good morals and high morals. I think that it becomes a downfall if we have an expectation like that for other people. Not saying you're doing that, but just a friendly reminder. Okay, this card came over the Tower. So the Tower moment is bringing you meaningful work. This is bringing you work that you enjoy as a suitable career. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what this matrix was trying to tell you. Oh, that's gorgeous. Victory. Right over the Magician. Okay. Tarot has confirmed you are going to be victorious. Okay, and the bottom deck energy here is King of Swords, and I love to put the kings and the queens together. I sometimes feel that has a stronger energy than the major arcana cards, because I mean that's like the inner masculine and inner feminine of this energy, and I think that this is a very strong message to find deal with this by protecting your heart, as we said earlier with the Queen of Swords, but also with that message about dealing with irrational people in a rational way for that person. So it wouldn't be a good expectation to expect rational behavior from an irrational person. The King of Swords is really known to look at life through serious, rational, mind-focused perspective, and I think that, you know, this might be just, I think, a repeating message here to really, you know, really focus on this. This must be what brings this Tower moment here, is when you start right here with the Ace of Wands. This must be part of your new understanding or your new creative spark or your new idea, is that this is what brings you liberation and freedom, and that's what brings you this Tower moment, and then you'll be free. Yeah, bottom card again, the Death. I mean, oh, hey, look, the Magician again, right next to it. Yeah. I know that Death card is scary, but I mean, it does mean the end of something, change, letting go, so that you can be this Magician. Yeah. And there's also, this little card was hiding under it. So, the Six of Cups, 2 kids. If some of you have kids, and kids play a really big part of this journey for you, I think Spirit wants to let you know that they're going to be protected, and you're going to figure out everything that you need to figure out. Okay, so this ends your reading, pile 2. Please like this video or leave a comment if you have anything that you want to share. I hope this video brings you peace, clarity, and conviction towards your next steps in life. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, please look at the description box below. You can figure out how to contact me through Gmail, Etsy, or FIVERR. I already have pre-existing listings up there. If you don't really know what you want to ask, there's some stuff up there that might be kind of fun. But also, if you need some, consultation for larger issues, I'll be there for you. So just reach out to me. Also, if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, there's links below for that. And if you want to just support my channel, there's some links to donate $1 or whatnot down to the description box below as well. Okay, now we are on to pile 3 here with this water guardian. I'm going to take a moment to get some water. Okay. So, the top card is just a symbol so that it can help you pick your deck. I actually did not include the water guardian as part of your reading, although that doesn't mean that she doesn't still have a message for you, but we'll see as the reading continues. So we have winter, take care of your needs. I found it interesting that this card came out because the end of the 6 months will be in winter. So this message for you might have a very specific timeline. The Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Shed old skin, the snake. Danu, mother of creation, motherhood, ferocity, and creation. Have Abraham. I know this card looks scary, but he's actually a really cool character. He's the equivalent of Justice in the Major Arcana deck. North Node. There will be success from benefits. I do offer a really neat North Node reading on my FIVERR and Etsy store if you're interested in that. And then relationships. The beauty of do it with your partners and Libra. And we also have Jupiter returns benefits. This is really awesome. I love how this North Node card and the Jupiter returns both say benefits right here. To me, this is like telling me that you have just stepped onto your North Node part of your path, which means that you are starting to walk your destiny, and as you're walking it, a lot of good karma, I think, is going to be coming your way. So that's so exciting. It could be happening through relationships as well, because just because of this Libra card being here. But it also could be bringing you towards people that you need to be in alignment with. Okay. So what I'm seeing right here with these 3 cards is that, well, pretty much all of your cards is that you've recently shed some skin, some not you, some, maybe conditioned parts of you that you recognize that doesn't really belong to me, so I'm getting rid of it. And you're connecting to your inner magic. What I see that compares these 2 cards with these is that Abraham in the mythological story, he's always like this Libra character with this, if you can see it maybe with this scales right here, just like Libra, and the scales, is they're always asking what is not needed. and what can I get rid of? But it's doing it in this, like, this kind of way, recognizing that not everything um, is particularly black and white, and things have nuances to them. And so as you're weighing it, you're really asking yourself, is this worth keeping? And the things that you have deemed as not worth keeping, you're deciding to let it go. And I think with this creation here, what I'm picking up with this mother of creation is I'm really focusing on this creation part of here, along with the magic within. It's like once you really get rid of the not you, it's like really opening up something inside of you to be birthed again. But I think Spirit is not only giving you a little heads up that this is going to be probably a 6 months process for you with this winter card right here, but I also think that it's reminding you to take care of your needs in this process, because to do an actual shedding process, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy, and I think Spirit is wanting to say to make sure you take care of yourself during this process, because we want you to get successful. So the way that I've, laying this out is this is like kind of the past, and here's the future part right here. And I noticed that these North Node and the Libra and the Abraham cards are right here at the end, where it's pointing to, this is the journey that you're on right now, so you can get to this point if you're not already there. You might already be here, but I think the actual shedding process is going to be all through to winter. And then as you're going through the shedding process, channel your little inner Abraham here, your inner Libra here, and make sure that the things that you decide that you don't want to keep, that you... I'm getting this message to just, respectfully and gratefully wish them well, but just say, I thank you for everything that you've taught me. But you're no longer needed, and I hopefully you don't have to say that to any people, but just energies of some kind. Maybe you might decide that you want to let a spirit guide go. If you've decided that you don't ever want to work, I don't know why this is coming up. I guess this is a message for somebody. But if you decide that you no longer want to work with a particular ancestor spirit or spirit animal or spirit guide of some kind, that's how you get them to go. You just say, it's like you give them this cosmic hug and just say, thank you for everything that you've helped me through. Thank you for everything that you've taught me. I wish you well, but I no longer need you anymore. It's kind of like that same energy that you would offer to a parent, It's kind of, as sad as that is, it's like 18 or 25 or however long you're with your parents. It's like you spend those years with them, and you want them to know, like, you're grateful for all the sacrifices that they made for you. But you might recognize that it's important for you to have that moment where you separate from your family for whatever reason. Maybe there's the environment is like hindering your process, or maybe there's some sort of toxic relationships happening in that process. But you just have to make peace with letting go for right now, if it's your family or if it's like some loved ones or some friends, just same thing. It's just like, I appreciate everything that you've done for me, but I think it's really important for me to walk my own path from here. It's that same energy. Okay, let's see if we can get some tarot cards. That message was kind of random. I hope that's helpful for somebody. I just noticed my lights are a little uneven. Sorry about that, guys. Wheel of Fortune, glad we're using my holographic deck because it makes my lacking light kind of okay. So we have the Ace of Swords next to the Wheel of Fortune. So you have a fresh start on the way. Sudden opportunity of an idea, sudden clarity. All right. So I think these cards together here, I think you've been holding back out of fear, or you're holding on to poverty consciousness, a lack consciousness, a feeling like you are not deserving, or you're holding on to, I think, maybe relationships that aren't serving you, or environments that aren't serving you, energies that aren't serving you. And I think that because it's right here connected to shed old skin and mother of creation, motherhood, it might be your mom. I think it's sort of saying like to shed your old skin and to stop holding back. Stop holding back. And this card was at the bottom of the deck. I think it was letting you know that your fortune is going to change when you can stop holding back and you really act on this inspiration and this, sudden clarity that you're experiencing. Let's see if we can get 3 past cards to just look at the foundation of this situation. Okay, 7 of Cups. 6 of Cups. 7 and 6 right next together. And 4 of Cups. Okay, this is the foundation cards right here. So with the 6, 7, and 4 of Cups here, really getting that maybe you were lost in some kind of fantasy, or you feel indecisive. You feel indecisive of, you have a lot of choices in front of you right now. You might have some choices that you feel sentimental about. When I see this, I see either like actually your 2 kids, your kids, or a soulmate connection of some kind. But this card right here, I see somebody who is dissatisfied with what's being offered, but also like really focused on these 3 cups down here that have been spilt and not focused on the 1 cup that Spirit's handing them. Right here. That feels like a very particular message for somebody. I don't know if that'll apply, so definitely use your discretion with that. Okay. Alright, so for a generalized message, it's, I think, having a lot of options, being dissatisfied with what's being offered, but also recognizing that there's some things that you feel sentimental about. You might not want to let them go. Okay. See if we can find 3 future cards. Oh. So we have the Magician, the Empress, and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, that's really good. Oh, It's such a relief when you get good cards in the future position, right? What I found, what I always find really interesting about the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles is I feel like out of all the queens, the Empress is, the Queen of Pentacles is already most like the Empress, is what I notice. Is it kind of feels that, because they're both about, health, abundance, nurturing, and I see a lot of similarities. So I think that the fact that these two cards are together like this, I feel like it's really doubling up on the feeling of abundance. I feel that this Magician card, I mean, after you get this turn right here, the Wheel of Fortune, which I find so interesting, it got here smack dab in the middle, and it's bringing you to this inspirational moment. This is when the Magician comes in next, and the Magician definitely lets you know that you have everything that you need to take action. You have the power to manifest everything that you want to manifest, and it might be this. It just might be the feeling of having that stable, happy home, feeling abundant, feeling like life is in bloom, just feeling calm and grounded in your finances. Completely different energy than these two right here, where you're just like, don't really like anything that's being offered, holding on, feeling poor, holding back, completely opposite than these two energies right here. These energies are so full of life. They're so full of life. Okay. I'm going to bring some clarifiers to the past, present, and future position so we can see, if we can get some additional messages that might be helpful. I'm going to see if I can adjust my light here in some kind of way that is better. It's a little too bright. Oh, kind of better. I think. Hope that doesn't shock people who are light sensitive out there. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords. This is telling me that you have some secret plans to abandon ship, because you might have recently dealt with some heartbreak and betrayal right here. And as you were looking at your options, I think you might have, recognized that, this new inspiration that was supposed to be coming to you, it's hard for you to probably see. It's probably hard for you to see these blessings because maybe it's not see. Maybe it's hard for you to feel these blessings because you might be in an environment where you're just having to hold so much of yourself back. I think that it might be saying that for you to fully act on your, excitement about life or work or a new relationship or whatever you need to be, find a way to move away from this betrayal or heartbreak that you might have suffered, whether it's in the environment or around the people that you feel sentimental about that you don't want to let go of. And remember, I'm not advising anybody to let go of permanently, but I mean, sometimes I think we have to make decisions temporarily for reasons, so that we could move through it without all of the things that were conditioning us in the process. And Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a different deck. 3 of Hearts came out again. I'm so sorry. I guess some of you really experienced some heartbreak and betrayal lately. I mean, for that card to come out twice again, um, you know, it's just painful to even see. Okay, let's get a card for the Wheel of Fortune. But first, I'm sort of, if it's a relationship, that you're considering leaving, like a love relationship that's no longer suiting you, and you don't want to leave, for sentimental reasons, maybe because you have kids. And I don't really think that the cards are saying that you have to leave, but I think it's kind of saying this, whatever's happening here, we want you to be here. I think that sometimes, part of being in a relationship for a long period of time is we kind of forget that we do have permission. We do have permission to make choices that have nothing to do with our partner. I think that when I see this Page of Swords card right on top of the Wheel of Fortune, I'm getting 2 different messages. So for some of you, there might have been somebody in your life that made choices that were very immature, and they behaved unstably without regard for you, and I'm so sorry about that. I can tell that it was very painful, these cards back here, for those of you who this particular message aligns with, that this person behaved very wrong to you. And I think Spirit is wanting to help you see that you have a lot of blessings of karma that want to come to you, but they can't be given to you until you're willing to let this Wheel of Fortune card come in and help bring you towards your North Node, to help bring you towards that place of success and happiness. And for other people, I'm sensing with this Page of Swords that a different message is that it can also mean that you have decided to take on a new study of some kind. And Spirit, this card popped out as I was thinking of that message. Temperance. It's a beautiful card. I would say it's probably in some cases a higher vibration than the Magician. But I think Spirit is really saying that to learn how to balance, if you're not already, learn how to balance maybe the needs of your family, and maybe let some of those connections be reborn into a different kind of connection, so that you can give more energy towards your future and all of the blessings that want to come to you, because you've earned some really good karma. This came out as I was talking about it. You've earned some really good karma through working through your shadow side and really staring down other people's shadow sides. And, Spirit is wanting to balance the scales for you and offer you some rewards. And they want to give you, I think this is part of your inspiration, is what I'm sensing, is they really want to give you meaningful work and something that you'll enjoy doing, some sort of suitable career. And I think that that's going to have some sort of alignment with your North Node, and maybe it'll have to do with relationships, like as a relationship counselor or coach or a therapist, or maybe you'll work with people in marriage, or maybe you'll work with parents and children, or any context that includes a relationship. I think might be connected to your North Node, but also it could have to do with some sort of justice of some kind. But I feel that whatever it is going to be very lucrative for you. with this Empress and this Queen of Pentacles coming in, you're going to feel like you are able to give something very meaningful to people. Like, I don't see some sort of, like, you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of conflicts where it's going to feel like drudgery, or I don't know if that's the right word. If it's going to feel really overwhelming, I don't see that. I feel that whatever you're offering is going to make you feel very joyful and abundant and happy and full of life. Let's get a card clarification for right here, so you can get some additional messages. 3 of Cups. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so you are going to feel like you can celebrate. Yay! Like, I'm finally taking action on whatever my North Node is, whatever my destiny is. I'm taking action, and I think that Spirit might want to say that begin this by maybe celebrating with your friends. Like, go have fun and enjoy yourself. Like, have a real celebration. You know, if you haven't done that in a long time, like, really do that. Like, celebrate not just the most apparent things that most of us celebrate, like our birthday. Like, we really should start celebrating every big milestone or small milestone that we experience, and really surround ourselves with people who do have our best interests, and not people that want to keep us stuck in, you know, like old, not people that want to keep us stuck in this old energy where we feel powerless. Like, this card literally means feeling stuck and powerless. Yeah, that came out when I was talking about this. I don't think this is part of your future spread. I think that it was just confirmation of, like, you know, learning while you're in this process. Probably be selective with who you allow in this space, because it's like, if you start allowing this energy in this space, you might as well just call that self-sabotage, because that is just way too much for any person to handle. You know, even the Dalai Lama. Oh, cool. Wheel of Fortune came out again. So that must be, that must be what also, so you have this, like, little tide shift right here, and you have another huge one right here, and it really must be the celebrating with people. And you have another Ace card, Ace of Pentacles right here. This is what brings you your clarity of your life's purpose, which is so closely connected to the context of this North Node, is celebrating yourself, like celebrating with your friends, people who really, really, really want to see you succeed in life. And you are going to get that clarity of your life's purpose. And we did get this Winter card right here that said that this process is going to be a 6-month process for you. You know, because some of these readings aren't always clear-cut 6 months. Yours is displaying that this is going to be a 6-month process. And in terms of discovering your destiny and life purpose, 6 months is relatively very short. So, and I think because this Jupiter Returns Benefit card came up, I think Spirit is really pointing out to you, you know, that you've been doing this work for a while, and you've got some good karma stored up in your karma bank, and it's trying to find a way to give it to you. But if you're not going to resonate, oh, I feel like some mama bear energy just came in. I am so sorry. I don't know where that comes from sometimes. That if you really want to connect to your blessings, you have to resonate on the frequency of those blessings. And I think Spirit is trying to show you how to do that. Okay, so this is the end of your reading, pile 3. I hope that this brought you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life. Hit the subscribe button to be notified with new readings or astrological insights, and please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, FIVERR, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook. Links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. Okay. Pile 4. Sip of water real quick. It's really funny. Every time that I start doing these readings, my cat wants to... I try to close the door because I don't like to hear the sounds, but my cat is always trying to open the door. So during the readings, I have to get up. I don't know if anybody's noticed this yet, but I have to get up and close the door real quick because my cat keeps wanting to go in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. It's really funny that she does that for some reason just during the readings and not anywhere else. Okay, so pile 4, we have the Air Guardian, and this card doesn't have anything to do with your reading. It is just simply to express a symbol to pick the cards that are below it. Okay, so we have the Mirror Guardian, the Trader, exchange energy to create abundance, Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times, the Keeper of Whispers, Vanith, caretaker of the lost, Chiron, healing. I'm putting these right here. Pisces, your dreams, your idealizations of, be a part of something overwhelming. Scorpio, the extraordinary power of prayer, the highest and lowest aspects of control the situation. Okay, so I remember when I was dealing the cards for this pile, and I knew exactly who the people were going to be that picked this pile. Okay, drum roll, please. You are my pile that is going through a major awakening towards your spiritual gifts. And that is what this eclipse has brought towards you, or for you. You are learning to channel through spirit, through the unconscious, through source, and you are learning how to access other dimensions. You are learning to channel forbidden knowledge that is going to help other people, especially people, I'm getting the sense of minority groups or minimized groups, or people who are often forgotten. And I think Spirit is saying it wants you to recognize you are going through a major shift right now, and you are changing, and it wants you to trust in this process, because as you are taking the time to really reflect on everything that you have to offer the world, that you have so much energy to give back, you have so much knowledge to give back, you have so much insight to give back, and through that it's going to create abundance for you. The Chiron card that I picked up here, for those who don't know the mythological story of Chiron is the wounded healer. He is the person who heals while he's healing others, and usually it's like a very personalized healing. It's like people who heal, who are just probably like one step ahead. So if you're working through healing, I can't think of anything right now, but if you're healing something and you're on like step C, for instance, that you would help people who are on step A and B. And while you're helping people on step A and B, it helps you transition from point C to D. And, that's kind of, I think, ideally that would be the story of life. And I see that the idealization of, yes, ideally that would be what we all do, but we don't do that. And I think Spirit is really trying to help you trust in this process, because you might have experienced enough to help people that are in earlier stages of what you were struggling with. And I think maybe for some of you, you might actually create a business out of it in some way. So I do want to get some tarot cards so that we can see a little bit more of this process for you. Oh, Five of Pentacles. This is my holographic card deck. So the Five of Pentacles has to do with money troubles, health issues, feeling like an outsider, being left out in the cold, struggling with poverty in life or in consciousness, of just like people not really giving much to you, or just kind of feeling like you got left out in the cold. High Priestess. Yeah, I feel that I'm going to get one more card just to make sure that my, Tower moments. Okay, so something might have happened recently and you kind of felt like you were left out in the cold in that situation. And maybe something feels unfair. And I think that the Spirit Fox that's touching the Tower here is trying to let you know that to trust this process that's happening for you, as hard as it might be, because this card has some of the, the saddest energy of the whole deck. It's like really pointing to, I don't know if it's like a mother and a child, or a man and a woman, or I'm not sure, but they just got left out in the cold, they got kicked out. And I think with these cards touching the Spirit Fox and the Keeper of Whispers, I feel like Spirit's really trying to let you know that you're moving on to something better. These cards were at the bottom of the deck as I was holding, speaking that message, which is the Eight of Wands, which is very quick manifestation, and the Six of Swords is going somewhere better. And I think that Spirit is letting you know that you, as hard as these cards were to experience, it is bringing you somewhere better. Maybe you're going to a place where you're going to see other people just like you, that are also other black sheeps, or also other people that were left out in the cold, or people that you can relate with. And where you're going is going to offer you that assurance, or that time. This card just flew out. It's going to offer you that that space to really surrender to a new perspective, and it will offer you the enlightenment that you need. So these two cards going together are very strong energies of no action, inaction, the High Priestess and the Hangman. And through inaction, by going within, we reach that enlightenment that brings us to that new space. Okay, let's see if we can get some cards here in the past position. See a little bit more of maybe what was happening. Okay, so these cards came out. The Seven of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Magician. Maybe you were working really hard to manifest your happy life, your safe home. Maybe you felt like you had a lot of options. Before you were decisive about it. Maybe you had like multiple opportunities, multiple lovers, multiple situations that you were juggling. Maybe you were focused on your own healing, and you kind of maybe got lost in it, because this card is positioned here by take time to reflect. And that's not to say that you didn't need it. You probably really, if you wouldn't do it if you didn't need it. But I think this is, what you were maybe trying to manifest. You were trying to manifest that happy home, but it was like, with this tower moment right here, it was like the rug got pulled under you, and you felt left out in the cold. Again, that's a very specific message, and this is a general reading, so please use discernment. Please use discernment when you are, reading this. And this came out as I was talking. It's the King of Cups and the Seven of Wands. And I think it's maybe you were feeling probably defensive about your feelings, possibly, and maybe they weren't heard. And maybe that's what brought the Tower moment. Okay, let's get some future cards right here. It always makes me so sad that people who have those strong psychic abilities that I'm sensing that wants to come through in your reading, it's like, why do they always have to experience, and I say this from my own experience, it's like, why do we always have to experience so many tower moments and so many being like black sheep moments? Why is it that we always have to get left out in the cold, or however? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my light to not be so crazy here. Oh, that's kind of nice. Okay. I promise I will invest in some better lights. But it's like, why do we have to experience so much sadness? But I guess that's part of being a healer. If you didn't experience sadness, then what is there to heal? I mean, I'm sure everybody does, but I think sometimes the people that are the strongest healers, or the people that actually desire to walk that path, really went through it. They really, really had to deal with a lot of stuff. Okay, so future position. Oh, gorgeous. 9 of Pentacles. That's a great card in the beginning. And that's definitely a step up from the 5 of Pentacles to shoot back up to the 9 of Pentacles. So by going through this inaction right here, really pausing to go within, it's like it catapults you ahead a few pentacles, all the way to the 9 of Pentacles, where you feel some rest and some financial and material comforts, a little luxury maybe. It's interesting that it fell under here, Pisces, because it says your dreams and part of something overwhelming. So, whether that's like a business of some kind, and maybe that business includes a lot of people, or maybe it includes really like being, like really connecting to the unconscious energy, to be a healer, like the collective unconscious, or maybe that's the overwhelming something. Oh, the Fool. You've been new beginning. New beginning. Oh, cool. And that new beginning brings you a 10 of Pentacles. So if a 9 of Pentacles is individual financial security, the 10 of Pentacles is like, want to get that in the frame because it's just, I love that card. The Ten of Pentacles is like generational wealth. You know, this is like the point where you are, okay, I'm sorry about the light, guys. I hope that's not like too distracting. This journey right here is helping you, I think, also with this trader right here. I think it's really helping you to find how to merge all of this stuff together so that you don't have to worry about your finances while you are walking this path. I think one of the things that I recall like 10 years ago when I first was learning how to do Reiki is I remember the Reiki teacher saying how a lot of times in that profession people really expect like free healing, you know, like free services, because it's like they would put back on you that, that it's such a giving profession that it doesn't make any sense that you would charge for it. And it's like, well, I mean, people still have to make a living. So I think that also applies here. Is just, you know, remembering that when you give to people, it's really important to have a energy exchange, because that exchange creates abundance for both people. It's not taking from one person to give to another. You know, exchange is very important, so that we aren't depleting ourselves. Okay, Father of Swords. I was thinking about this position right here, right over the Seven of Cups. I don't know, like, I think maybe for some of you, you guys might have had a very controlling person, and it might have caused you to not make a decision because it was like the decision that he wanted or they wanted wasn't what you wanted, and so it kind of caused you to detach or get lost in a fantasy of some kind. But it was like you were really wanted. Okay, so we Temperance, and I think this is 10. I think that's 10 of Wands. But I think this is really saying that it was really, really hard work for you to balance all of this. You know, this is falling right here over the Four of Wands. It was really hard work for you to maintain this structure because it wasn't, you know, the Lovers right here over the Magician. It, like, there was this really strong desire in you to have that inner marriage, to connect to that part of you that is a healer, is a psychic. Maybe there are people that are very, you know, that's not a job, you know, type people, and, you know, maybe that was really affecting you, but it was like, but this is my path, and I'm being called to do it, and I just have to, and that's what's probably bringing out this Tower moment right here. So we have this Emperor. I'm sort of getting that this person, the Father of Swords, might be the Emperor, and they're the one that created the Tower moment because they feel like they lost control. Or this is saying that you are now taking your power back, and because you are taking your power back, this character, you know, left you out in the cold, which had a really bad reaction to it, and it created a Tower moment. And so what I'm seeing with this Five of Pentacles is, for many of you, you are choosing to abandon ship. It's your choice to do it. Okay, Hanged Man again, right over here. I have a feeling it's supposed to be like this, and that we don't have any other cards coming out here. This is, I think, just confirmation that right now, this is where I think most of you are right now, is just to really hang tight, go within, don't take any action, because being in an energy of surrendering is, I think, really what needs to happen to get you over here, for this new beginning to happen amongst these 9 and 10 of Pentacles. It really wants to pause right here, and maybe this is just simply aligning with it. Like maybe you've been in this energy right here for a while, and it's like you haven't really had the opportunity to align with abundance yet, and maybe this is what this new perspective shift is bringing you to, so that you can get there. Oh, okay. This one did want another card, the Devil. But this is very closely in alignment to the second message we got from this card. The Devil can very easily mean giving your power away. And this is you deciding to take it back. The Devil could also be a literal representation for this, this Father of Swords character that we were talking about earlier. It also could mean that you might need some time to really assess, maybe if you've picked up on some destructive patterns or addictions that are giving your power away. I get a sense that maybe because of the 7 of Cups here, that maybe getting lost in the clouds, or like really connecting so far into this Keeper of Whispers is making you a little ungrounded, and maybe to create this stability, I think that maybe Spirit might be letting you know that you have to get back to groundedness. Oh yeah, the Air Guardian, shift your perspective. I think this is really an important process right here for pile 4, to control the situation and really assess the highest and lowest aspects of all of it, because although it is a really beautiful thing to connect to Spirit and to connect to the conscious collective and to connect to the lost people of the collective, it can really unground our energies to be in, to live multidimensionally and not spend enough time in this dimension. It could really make us feel like we get lost also in lower dimensions, because those are very, healing. You have to be able to sit and hold space with people that are in times where they're at their lowest. Yeah, so we have another 7 of Swords that came out right here. This is a double confirmation that you are abandoning ship, and you need to abandon ship. Whatever this is for you guys, it was not serving you at all. So I'm going to see if we can get some cards here. I'm just going to try to disconnect with your past and your present for right now, and see if we can see what's happening in the next 6 months. Okay, so here we go. The Death card came out with the High Priestess. So I think this is just letting me know that at some point, Spirit is going to want you to take action. I'm going to do it actually right here. Spirit is going to want you to take action at some point. Let's see. How do we know when that's going to be, Spirit? Another Hanged Man. You're going to know when that new perspective comes in. When that new perspective comes in, you're going to know. That's when you start taking action. And, oh wow, repeat. That's hilarious. Or awesome. The Fool card came up again right smack dab in the middle, next to the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands. So we have a new journey on the way for you, pile 4, and success. It's going to be awesome. You're going to feel success, accolades, and achievement. You're going to be happy. And it's going to start with a new beginning, a new creative spark, and a new idea of some kind. And I think that that's going to happen. It's happening in this process right here after we've experienced the Hangman, after we've experienced that new perspective, surrendering to the new perspective and letting go of what was not serving us anymore so that we can let go of all the destructive patterns and stop giving our power away, grab that power back, and once you do, it's like this spark of life happens, a new journey begins, and you get your solid family foundation, success, victory. It's going to happen. Okay. Well, this concludes your reading, pile 4. This was a good one. I'm so happy that I was able to offer some good news. Yeah, please leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed this reading. Subscribe to my channel if you want to look for new readings that come out. I hope this reading brought you peace, clarity, and conviction towards your next steps in life. And please check out the description box below. If you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can reach me through FIVERR or Etsy or directly through my Gmail. And if you just want to support my channel, I do have links below for how you can donate through. I've been calling it Zelle this whole time, but I just recently corrected and said it's Zelle. But anyways, you can find the link there. You can also find me on Instagram, on Facebook, where I put some free daily readings and some astrological transits. Alright, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope this reading helped you. Please tune in tomorrow. I'm going to try to do one reading a day. Let's see how I do. Also, if you're looking for jewelry, check out my Etsy store. I have some fun stuff happening in there. Okay? And I love you guys. Bye-bye, beautiful souls.